तप्तजीवनं कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति भूरिदा जनाः भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः. The master is the Brahmo Samaj services are going on from the pulpit. Services were interspersed with recitation from Upanishads and singing of the Brahmo Samaj. After the service, master and preacher conversed. Wherever it is possible, Sri Ramakrishna again and again tries to dissolve the differences in approach to God by various faiths, various religions, various denominations within the religions. All the differences, one God, one aim, one human, one nature. Why divide? Let each one approach according to his own nature, God, and God responds to it, because God is all-pervading, all-knowing, all-capable. He can present himself with form, without form, in many more ways as the devotee needs and wants. So all the differences Sri Ramakrishna is again and trying to root out from their hearts and see the real God, real world of divine, real identity of the person within himself. We are all got accustomed to the waking state awareness of being body. Nature detaches us from body to make us know you are not body. From their mind also she makes detached to make understand you are not this. Mind also. Body-mind complex is an external sheath covering you. Inside your real existence. With sleep, it separates temporarily. With death, the same part which separates in sleep is going to separate from the body. In that part, when you sleep in deep sleep, when you are in deep sleep, even if one desire remains there in the causal form unmanifest, one force, it is going to bring a birth necessary. The force can be the force of the action I have done, karma phala, or it can be a tendency I have generated within myself called vasana. It can be karma phala or vasana. These things has to be annihilated before one finds relief and release from the samsara, the ocean of this transrelative existence. To go back to the causal state, to go back to the source, to go back home, where eternal peace, eternal joy, eternal life exists. So this Sri Ramakrishna is making realization of God is the one thing. Go by any path which is easy to you, convenient to you, in which you are accustomed. Don't waste time. So he is bringing back again to their heart the essence, the essential part of the religion which they are following. Doesn't matter, you are Advaitins, go ahead with it. Oh, you people are Dvaitins, go ahead with it. You belong to this religion, Go ahead. Don't waste time. Don't waste energy in thinking of wherever you find good and great, just absorb and go ahead. Where there you find difference, just leave it and go ahead. Don't carry these things. You have your own nature, which cannot be removed but can be utilized to realize God. So here we see Sri Ramakrishna conversing with the preacher of the Brahmo Samaj. Well, it seems to me, Master is telling, Sri Ramakrishna is telling, well, it seems to me both the formless deity and God with form are real, because they belong to they have created a structure, newly they formed some religious or the faith like understanding, which did not continue for long, but it existed in a very forceful way of transforming Hindu ways of thinking. Without knowing, without realization, these are all intellectual understandings, trying to hear, listen to others' words of contempt, of praising, and then formulate their own way, where they, without knowing the cause, without knowing the effect, without knowing the consequences, they are trying to form. But Sri Ramakrishna is encouraging them, whatever path you belong to, the Advaitin part, doesn't matter, go ahead. But never think that Dvaitic part is unreal or false. You have faith in this, go ahead, but never think God is unlimited. He can manifest in any way as the devotee or as the aspirant aspires for. Here we see Sri Ramakrishna bringing with that point. It seems to me that both formless deity and God with form are real. What do you say, preacher? Sir, I compare formless God to the electric current, which is not seen with the eyes but can be felt. Here it doesn't say anything about the with form. Formless, what is formless, he understands, is electric current. There is power, it can be felt, touch it and see, and it cannot be seen with your eyes. This is the thing that they could understand in those days when Sri Ramakrishna was there. Electric current had come into just in a battery level or something like that. It has not come like present usage level of generator and all that. That was a stage, and they could feel its electricity, but they could not see it. But he is feeling with one of the senses. Instead of eye, he is using touch. But now in modern world, we have still more, even 5 senses cannot perceive, is our software. Software, you can see its working. Its effects you can see. Itself you cannot see. Software can, all your 5 senses will not perceive this software. Your tongue will not show what is software, nor your eyes, nor ears, or touch, or smell, nothing. All the 5 senses fail there. Normal mind also cannot understand. Intellect can understand, but all people can see its functioning. It functions without its presence, perceivable by 5 senses. We know the effect, how it works. You can download it, you can upload it, you can do so many things without perception of any type. Intellect also, you cannot perceive it as it is. You can discern, understand. I can take a software and see all its workings, and where it is deposited with that instrument, I can find out how they might have constructed and make a similar software. It is perceptible by intellect. It is discernible. It can be comprehended by intellect, and it can be reconstructed intellectually, but your five senses cannot perceive. That is the nearest thing that we can presently have, which is beyond five senses, indriyatita vastu. But it is not manatita, it is not buddhi atita, it is not beyond intellect, it is within the range of intellect, understanding. And you can understand what God could be. These are subtle things of perception, intellect. Now, intellect cannot also understand what is beyond time and space. This all things comes within time and space, so you can understand. Intellect can discern. Intellect also cannot discern a thing which is beyond time and space. The only way is to calm down all the instruments, leave the self itself to perceive, independent of all instruments. Drop the mind itself. Mind is the most important factor that is taking all the senses and working and trying to gain or give. So mind, destruction of mind. Mind means meditations. Meditations means vritti, chitta vritti. Silence it. No more functioning of the mind. Now the brain also calms down as if it is in deep sleep. At that level, you start perceiving independent of mind. If you are not entered the lower levels of consciousness, that it is sleep or deep sleep, and you have expanded beyond the waking level of consciousness to higher level of consciousness, you will perceive higher and higher level realities. The same world we are seeing, and this is multiple ways you can see. What level of consciousness you are is the thing that is visible to you. Now, you are in waking state, this world is visible. Go to dream state, this world is not at all visible. Your body also is not visible. You don't have identity with the body, nor perceive this world. Particular level of consciousness, waking consciousness alone. Dreaming conscious, you see another world of dream world. And dream ego is there. Dream identity is there. With dream body you have identified and see the dream world. Similarly, you go to the deep sleep, you have another perception, causal world. The causal world, there is nothing perceptible of the waking and dreaming. It is in it is feeling, experiencing absence of all things. Itself, no subject-object, only subject without an object. Objective world is not there. Subjective world exists. When subject is there without object, it cannot identify itself. Because the cover of Maya is covering. The causal body, subtle body and gross body are covering the reality, who you are. When that is removed, the ignorance, the sheath of ignorance is removed. You know yourself. You get the Atma Jnana. So on the other side, can you, instead of going down to subtler and causal, from waking to dreaming, dreaming to deep sleep, can you expand your consciousness to higher level of consciousness? Same world, you see another world. Still higher, another world. Still higher consciousness, higher world. Then you transcend the nature and go beyond. Nature only are up to Vishuddha. After Vishuddha, you will not have the form at all. The Prakriti, range of Prakriti is over, nature is over. You are going beyond the nature. All this is within nature. Including vision of God with form is within nature, Prakriti. But beyond the three levels of consciousness which we are accustomed to go and come, waking, dreaming and deep sleep, it is beyond. We are entering into a new world of Devatas in the same one. Various forms of the same reality, God, which is working here as nature. The same thing we see with form of our choice, and it can reveal any form of its own on its own accord. Still higher we enter if slowly dissolution of the name and form, and pure energy in her own glory at the Ajna Chakra, and beyond is the absolute existence, the Ch.10 Sagara. So here we see higher levels of consciousness we are entering. So with form, without form. Yes, both are true. God with form is real as God without form. Do you know God with being formless it is like a man playing only monotone on his flute, though he has 7 holes. But the same instrument, another man plays different melodies. Like how many ways the believers in personal God enjoy Him. They enjoy Him through many different attitudes. The serene attitude, Shanta Bhava, the attitude of servant, Dasya, a friend, Sakha, a mother, that is what we call Vatsalya, and then husband or a lover, that is the Madhura Bhava. All these are few attitudes. You can take up any type of relationship as brother, sister, as brother-in-law, any number of relations are there. With all types of relations you can impose on God and experience Him participating in the same way you want Him to participate in your life. You want Him to be your friend, then He will be approaching you as His friend. If you want to approach Him as a child, He responds as a mother or as a father. So because He has no limitation and He is capable of perceiving what we expect Him to do. Because we are conscious, He is also consciousness itself. So He can understand what our consciousness, our inner consciousness, our inner longing is asking for. Just like if the pain is there in any part of your body, you understand there is a pain. Because actually the pain doesn't belong to you at all. Suppose you have a pain in your arms. That pain doesn't belong to you. Because that pain is when you are asleep, you will not perceive that pain at all. You will not know pain is there. When you are waking, again you identify with the body and there is pain. Whom does the pain belong to? The pain belongs to the cells there, living cells. They are undergoing tremendous strain. They are having pain and they alone are having pain. In waking state, you identify with that body as myself. So you also experience in waking state the same pain. Like that God, we are experiencing the pain. God is not experiencing pain. But God pervading this universe as the Lord of universe, He also simultaneously experiences our pains. And the moment I see a pain, I try to remove that pain. My hand, another hand goes to alleviate the pain there. Similarly, God approaches the devotee when he calls. Pain is the cells calling me. We are suffering, we are suffering. So my hand goes. When I am sleeping, I have not experienced because now I am not pervading it. I am not able to hear their call. So I don't respond. When I am waking, I hear the call. The pain comes to me also. So I alleviate. So when we call on God, He experiences. Understanding is different. He understands your pain at all times. He experiences also. But if there is no call from your side, there is no need to apply also. Many of the pains we overlook and go. We don't attend to all pains we have. Oh, it will come and go, doesn't matter. So this we don't attend. Like that God, when you start calling on Him with a loving heart, then immediately the response comes, which starts appearing there, with God with form and without form. It is like Sri Ramakrishna is giving the monotone of a flute with one hole. Suppose I am playing, just making a sound continuously. Or another person can play varieties of melodies. So the same flute, one is experience or projecting out one tone, others are projecting out varieties of tones and enjoying it in different ways. Like that, the devotees experience varieties of forms, varieties of characters, varieties of relationships with the same object. Because each bhava, feeling, has a particular way of extracting the joy from within. I to reach the joy and joy to reach me, there is difference. I am reaching some joy, joy is reaching me. When I play, when I see the form, joy flows out to pervade my whole being. My body is horripilated. My heart is weeping in joy. My whole system is receiving that joy and experiencing that joy. In Advaita, I go to the ocean of joy, as if I am going to the river of joy and experiencing. Here I am sitting here where I am and allowing the water of the river and ocean to flow into me. This is the difference. I can have varieties of things sitting here, calling on God. So here we see, you see, the thing is somehow or other to get into the lake of nectar of immortality. The whole thing comes to an end now, because I have lost my identity, that I am divine, I am immortal, I am ocean of bliss, peace, love, absolute. I have forgotten. Because of the karmic bondage that I am carrying, the tendencies I am carrying, and because of which I have identified with the body. The identification of body goes away only by realizing God, by touching His feet, by knowing the reality, who I am. I am going to get my real identity, the lost identity, and the identity which I am carrying now in the world as so and so gets lost, dissolved into nature, back into the nature. I get my real identity. I am immortal. I am Amritattva. I enjoy that freedom, total freedom, everlasting freedom from nature. I can remain as I want within the nature or beyond the nature or merge in the absolute as I want. I have that freedom. Now I have no freedom regarding sukha or dukkha. I don't have any alternative. I have to live as the nature makes me live. Sometimes it gives joy, sometimes it gives suffering. Whatever way it keeps me, because of, and if she doesn't give anything or on her own accord, what I have earned and kept, whatever I have done, action and the reaction, she is supplying back to me. So this is what we see here in this context, that to somehow to get back the lost identity, to enter the nectar of immortality. Suppose a person gets into it by propitiating the deity with hymns and worship, and you are pushed into it, the result will be same. Both of you will certainly become immortal. It can be, he can fall by himself, dive into the river or ocean of immortality, or somebody can push from behind. Both are same. He is going to enter into the ocean of reality. One is on his own accord, another is forced by the circumstances or nature. Whatever way you get into the ocean of immortality, you are there, immortal. The result will be same. Both of you will certainly become immortal. The whole thing is to how somehow or the other, holding on to anything, whatever, see the religion or the faith or the way in which we are grown up from childhood is the easiest path for each one of us. And then our own nature, most of the times we are not able to understand what we are. We are influenced by the external circumstances in which we grow. Then my real nature will be there, independent of the acquired nature. That also, some understanding, some reading, this, that makes me awaken that my real nature, and finally after some time I start moving in that direction. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.